Welcome to the Grappling Rewind Podcast.
Welcome to this week on the Grappling Rewind Podcast. On this week's show, we're going to break down Fight to Win Pro 79 in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to preview Fight to Win Pro 80 in some of their location and talk about Polaris Pro 7.
Boston, sir. Boston.
Fight to Win Pro Boston? Ooh, I know some people on that card. That'll be fun.
We will also briefly touch on the new Basho in Sumo.
For Sumo, because Sumo is back. Had a little hiatus, and back to the big gentleman.
As always, I am Josh, joined with my co-host,
Maine. Yeah. But before we get into that, a little bit of news. Josh, how's your week been?
That's not news, but it's been fine.
How's your weight been?
Good.
Good. You getting closer to
195.
Is it 195?
Thank you very much.
I always think it's 190. It's 195.
No. I'm 195. The match is at 190.
Okay, the match is at 190. Okay.
Yes, that's why I can enjoy some Cheez-Its right now.
Nice. We're talking about Josh's upcoming Fight to Win Pro match, Pro 80.
Fight to Win Pro 82.
In Baltimore, Maryland, where he has a match at 190.
Yes.
So, yeah, in other news,
Kurt Osiander, Ralph Gracie, drama. We'll leave it at that. It's been out for a little while now. Both sides, both accounts of the story are out there. I don't know exactly what it is.
With any story, there's three sides to the story, and there's the truth. Two sides to the story and the truth. My bad.
That's four.
Whatever.
Three sides to the story and the truth? You mean two sides to the story? There's two sides to the story and the truth.
There's three sides to every story. That's what I meant to say, Josh. So, yeah, there's drama going on. Looks like Kurt Osiander is going to start his own gym called Empire BJJ, like 2 miles away from the old location of House Gym, which is now a GB, apparently.
No. According to Half, it is not.
Okay, so stuff's going on. He's left to make his own academy.
He was going to form it more like Henzo's in New York, so it's going to be a little bit more structured. According to him.
Look, not a bad thing. Henzo's puts out some dope competitors, so cool. But that's happening in the community. In other news, 4th of July happened this weekend, Josh.
Yes.
Still got all your fingers?
Yes.
Good. That's a good thing.
How about you?
I still got all 10 fingers, Josh. I don't fuck with explosives anymore. I'm a real adult.
You still have that terrible facial hair as well.
Mm-hmm. Still got that.
Yep.
So.
That was really it. We're enjoying the summer. Getting in a lot of training, the usual GTL, gym, tan, laundry.
Pretty much, yeah, the jiu-jitsu lifestyle.
Exactly.
So, into the breakdowns. So, we're going to kick it off with a little bit of sumo. The Nagoya Basho began this week. Is that correct, Josh?
Yes.
I said it right?
Yes.
Yo, man, I'm good at Japanese.
Lies. Say the next word. This one. Right here.
Next word? Aichi.
Good job. Proud of you.
Was that correct?
Yeah.
Man, I'm amazing. Prefecture Gymnasium. So this is the first day of the Basho, and Basho's run 15 days as per usual. This is the first day. We're going to, as per usual, cover the first day, then cover the midway point, and then recap it in 2 weeks.
First things first, 8 Bashos in a row. No Kisei no Sato.
When are they going to cut him? Not cut him. When are they going to force him to retire?
Supposedly, this is the last one where they're like...
Because this is the record, right? Like, last Basho was the record for the most amount of Bashos going Kujo.
It was tied, so this one, he now holds it.
Oh, sorry. Last one was tied. This one now, he has the record.
Yeah. So apparently they're giving him one more, from what I'm reading. From
like
what I'm
an additional
gathering.
Basho, or this is the last one? Okay, this is the last one.
This one.
Man, like...
Well, you have to think about it. There's 6 tournaments a year. So he's been out of
almost a year
and a quarter.
You're closer to a year and a half than not.
Or a year and a third.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's still not here.
So he retires after this one, basically, unless by some crazy thing he shows up, which
even if he does, he's not 100%. I don't think he's even 80%. He tore again his pec and something else, and if he would have just gotten surgery right away, he may have been out up until this point, but he would have been back.
He could have come back, but he never got the surgery. So now we're in the situation. He'll be forced to retire for this one. So after this one, we will most likely only have 2 Yokozuna. Kakuryu. What'd I say?
Yokozuna.
Oh, my bad. Yokozuna.
Essentially what it is it is a smudge mark on Japanese sumo wrestlers. Because he got promoted. He won. He got promoted. And he looked really good for one tournament. And then he got injured. And then that's it. So, you know.
It wasn't like he was a dominant Yokozuna.
No.
And then he kind of got promoted, took the injury, and then has been out since then. So it's, I agree with you. It's kind of a smudge. But it is what it is. He's
a bad representation of a Yokozuna.
Yeah.
As of right now.
I think that's reasonable.
I mean, he could come back and still go and fight through all the injuries and whatever.
He's already been out the first day. Like, nothing to
Well, no, he's out completely.
Yeah, so he's going to Kuja the whole Basho.
Yeah, but he's got this one. So maybe he comes back the next one. If not, he's out the door. And it's just like, it just looks bad. They promoted him and they were like, yeah, here comes the hope of Japanese sumo.
Didn't he only win like one Basho to promote him?
Yeah, but he's Japanese.
Right, but it's still unprecedented in today's era.
No, it's not.
Really?
No.
Okay.
He's Japanese.
Right.
So they're going to promote him quicker
than a non-Japanese Yokozuna.
Right. So they're going to make the non-Japanese win too.
All right.
You know.
Politics.
Yeah.
Sumo politics.
Very Japanese inclusive. Anyway, day one, the usual stuff. Some people won, some people lost. Takayasu is back. He did not look great, but he stole a win. Tochinoshin with his debut at Ozeki win.
Exciting.
Yes.
I'm excited about him.
He looked like a monster. It was great.
I'm excited to see what he looks like against the Yokozunas.
Give it a little bit. The top guys normally go against the top guys closer to the beginning.
Exciting, Josh. I'm
so it'll be interesting.
Very excited about this.
Possibly later. It all depends. Who knows? Ichinojo, who I can't stand, looked like garbage. Abi, he looked all right. Still took an L. Endo, looking good on day one. Let's see. Koteko debuted at Maegashira 14. He lost. Meisei debuted at Maegashira 16, and he lost. Ryuden dropped down, and he took an L. So, it's only day one. You can't really call anything. We will discuss more at length at the halfway point next week.
So that does it for Sumo this week. Tune in next week when we get excited about who's moving through the ranks. So on to Fight to Win Pro 79 in Columbus, Ohio. This event paid out a total of $21,410 in salaries and commissions, and they're listing it as a submission rate of 60.6. They're saying that's the highest for 2018.
I beg to differ.
I don't believe that's correct, Josh. I believe we had a card a couple weeks ago that had a...
Almost two-thirds, which would be 66%. It was like 63%.
I think it was 64. I think we rounded up to 64% is what it was.
But 63 is still higher than 60.
It is, Josh. I mean, I'm not great at math, but I learned me some percentages once in a time.
I just know that 63 comes after 60.
Yeah. So they're listing it as the most percentage submissions. I'm not sure. Unless they counted the Nick Diaz submission via TKO in that.
Did we count? No, we counted that in there afterwards, and it was still higher.
Okay. Not sure. So, on to the results section. On to the kids' results.
Gary. I almost said Gary Terry.
It's not even close, Josh.
I know. This is already going to start. This is great. Gavin Terry defeated Spencer Hagood,
maybe? Hagood.
Via leg scissor. I'm mad that the video is not up for this.
I saw the result and I went, ooh, I want to watch this match.
Can't find it.
It's not up. Because, dude, a kid winning by head scissor, like...
Anybody winning by head scissor,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to watch that.
Josh loves him a good head scissor. So, on to the purple belt results.
Gabe Guevara defeated Axel Orzoko via armbar. Carly Keeble defeated Caitlin Turner, Jimmy Creebies, via rear naked choke. Jonathan Prazek, and let me double check that. Plazik, excuse me. They have it as Jonathan Stutzman, who is a black belt who is further up on the card, but on the videos it's Jonathan Plazik. Defeated Corey Meeks via split decision. Brad Schneider defeated Josh Brown via decision. Zach Edwards defeated Sean Foster by flying triangle, which I didn't get to check because I was at work. I was kind of busy. That video is not up yet either. I love me flying submissions, so...
Yeah, anyone that's willing to throw a flying sub at a pro event is like, I'm going to watch that. I'll watch that again.
Yeah.
It's not up yet. Hopefully, they have 28 videos out of the 34 matches, so they're missing 6 videos still. The kids' results and a couple purple belt matches are not up now. Hopefully, they get them up.
Yep. Sarah Stump defeats Kaida Owen via split decision. Aaron Howard defeats Jeremiah Roberts via Kimura. Christopher Manuel Harden defeats Ian Lashley via choke.
And that was fight of the night for the purple belts.
Lance Martin defeats Joe Merlo via split decision. Sonny Ryan DeBetz defeats Eddie Johnson via decision. Aaron Dominic defeats Diogo Couto via toe hold. Kaliha Reedy defeated Luke Lago via rear naked choke. Juan Falcone defeated Ricardo Casanova via bow and arrow. Michael Arrieta defeated Benji Piles via triangle. Jake Miller defeated Ward Hinley via split decision. Gary Hensley defeated Joe Bogard,
I think.
Via decision.
The weird thing is, I do not see a submission of the night for the purple belts listed on these results.
Maybe it wasn't a submission of the night.
I'm not sure, but that'd be a first for them. Usually they give a fight of the night for the purple belts. For every belt, they give a fight of the night, and they give a submission of the night, unless... Nope. Yeah, I don't see one.
Nope. On to the brown belts. Mike Mason defeated Ramon Kenny via injury.
It looked like a hand injury. They said, I mean, even I watched this, I replayed this probably 6 or 7 times to try to figure out exactly where he gets injured and what he gets injured. It looks like a hand injury. And it looks like he gets injured in like a collar grip break, where he kind of pulls his hand away and then he's like re-gripping funny and he's like kind of not taking the grip again. And then the match, he points to the ref and I kind of stop the match. And then his hand is injured. The medic comes out and like looks at him, and then they stop the match, and it's a defeat via injury. So it was kind of weird. It was I couldn't figure out exactly what it was. The commentary was kind of helpful. They were trying to figure it out as well because they couldn't figure out what it was initially either.
They were really good, by the way.
Commentary was amazing.
And some people will stop and some people will continue. That's why I have a wonky ring finger on my right hand. I broke my finger in a match and just kept gripping with it. Some people are smarter than I am and are like, hey, I'm hurt. I'm not going to fuck it up.
All right, pause. Story time. This is not a Josh story that I've heard before.
It's see that one? See how it's all lumpy and like crooked?
It's a Jesus finger, man. That's what they all look like.
Yeah, but that's not like from gripping and being lumpy, as you can see by the rest of my fingers.
Oh, yeah, it does look kind of weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Huh.
And you see, look, it doesn't bend.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, because I broke it.
Oh.
I was gripping, like I was in a tournament, and at that point I was like, I can't lose to anybody from Lloyd Irvin's team.
What belt are you?
Purple belt? At the beginning of like my purple belt career, I guess.
So this is like 6 or 8 years ago.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
And I just reached in and gripped, and I felt something go crack, and I ripped my hand back really quick and shook out my hand and pulled my finger, and it went pop. And I was like, oh, I just dislocated it. And then I just went right back to gripping, and it hurt a lot each time. And then I beat the guy, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And later I found out my mom, who's a nurse, looked at it and was like, oh, yeah, that's broken. It's like,
thanks, Mom.
All right. And I just taped it up and kept training.
Just went on with your life.
Yeah, and so I have a bumpy knuckle that doesn't bend all the way.
That makes a lot of sense then. Right.
Yeah.
So Josh's injury and this injury happened. And more brown belt results.
Danny Goss defeated Daniel Maguire via armbar. Sean Fritz defeated Dinos Angelis. Man, we are just really stupid. I'm going to make you
you've been
say
actually
the worst.
doing really good on the names. I wasn't saying anything. You've been pretty good tonight on the names.
Angelis. I don't know. Via toe hold.
This was fight of the night for the brown belts. This was a good match. This is a lot of fun. Sean gets this toe hold from kind of a funny angle. Like he's like laying on his side and he rotates up and he gets a really quick tap on it. It was a fun back and forth match. Deservedly fight of the night.
Brittany Elkin defeated Allison Linder via decision.
Brittany was all over her this entire match.
It started off with a lot of neckties and just a little, jockeying on the feet.
Almost a little tentative.
A little bit. Brittany shot in for a single at first, didn't get it, and then came in with a nice little blast double. And from there, pretty much just took over the match. Passed, changed positions a lot, went to the back, was at side control, was attempting Darces, was going after the arm.
She knows the fight to win rule set. Going for submissions. Going for submissions.
Before the match, she was 9-3. She's now 10-3. I would assume so. She knows how to win. She's their champ at the welterweight level. So
for Nogi. I think she's Nogi champ, right?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Which is interesting because this was not a title match, which I thought was funny.
Whatever. Yeah, she was briefly swept going for an armbar, and then, what was it, like maybe 6 or 7 seconds, and she turned around and just got back on top?
Yeah, she did almost like a sit.
Maybe it was a little bit longer because she went to full guard briefly.
Yep, and then she goes and turns all the way out and does a really nice kind of tech stand-up out of it and turns back into the guard.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It was a good match. Good to see her, get back into it really quick. Commentary staff talked about her fight with Kayla Harrison, and that they're happy to see her back. So good for her to get a win. I did not know that she's now 10-3 in fight to win. I know we see her frequently. I just didn't know she had racked up that kind of record. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, this is, 79? There's been 79 events. She's been on 13 of them.
Yeah. I'm just always impressed that guys can I really love, and I've said it for, since we've been covering Fight to Win, I love that Fight to Win does records for their competitors. Like, oh, your Fight to Win record is this, and it matters. Because I think in the future, jiu-jitsu will move more towards MMA with the records, like the records mattering. Like, Fight to Win makes your record matter in Fight to Win. Like, oh, you get paid more if you have a better record in Fight to Win.
I need to step my game up then.
Yeah, Josh. Like, that's why I give you shit about everything. Because you got to get some wins on you, man. You got to build your record out. I also think that records should reset every belt. That's just me, though. I think in general, you should have your blue belt record was this. Cool, you moved to purple belt. Here's your purple belt record.
Some people keep track of that. And don't get me wrong, I've won more brown belt matches than I've lost. But in that thing, I've lost both of them. So it would be 0-2.
Yeah.
But
if you ever get promoted to black, which I assume you do jiu-jitsu 13 plus years at this point, you'll get there eventually.
11.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. So 11 years, you'll get there eventually.
Coming up on 11.
I think the record should reset. My blue belt record doesn't mean shit. No one gives a fuck about my blue belt record. What am I doing at purple? What? Am I competing well? Am I getting fucked up at purple? Your record at the belt you are now is what matters. When guys get promoted to black belt, you shouldn't be carrying wins and stuff over from when you were purple, into black belt. Oh, your record is, 487-7. It's okay, but 300 of those wins are at purple belt, and the 7 losses are at black belt. It paints a different picture. So, look, I love Fight to Win has records. Super happy about it. Super impressed that Brittany has so many fucking Fight to Win appearances.
We have to listen next time Troy is announced what his record is too.
He's got a fair amount too. I forgot. Right. We saw him last week? Yeah, yes. We saw him last week, and he has a fair amount too. Seth has a bunch.
6 or 7.
Yeah,
we were surprised. He has double digits. We were surprised by
how few he had because we've seen him on a bunch, personally,
we just
recently.
Thought he was on a bunch, but apparently he was not. Anyway, Salah Salim defeated Brad Babines via omoplata.
This was deep as fuck.
It's also submission of the night.
Yeah. Oh, God, you took my shit, Josh.
I took it. And isn't this technically then the first omoplata in Fight to Win history?
Ooh, this is. Wait, in the gi or in no gi? No, they said, yeah, this would be the first one. But they had listed on the previous result for Kai that it was the first one, so they may not have known that it wasn't actually an omoplata and it was actually a toe
hold. They did
hold.
Later that it was done as that, so technically this could take that then, right?
This is the first omoplata in Fight to Win history, and it was deep as fuck. It was a good omoplata. It was a fun match.
Mike Chaney defeats Daniel Lopez via decision. Michael McLean defeated Chico Bays via triangle. Andrew Sabatino defeated James Fisher via armbar. And Tyler Buchner, God, I
think it's Buchner. I think you had it correctly. Where'd you get Buckner out of that?
The E silent. I don't know.
All right. Silent E. What is this? Spanish? German? French? What is silent E's?
I don't know.
Some language.
I'm just making stuff up as I go along. Anyway, he defeats Sebastian Gallegos via armbar.
On to the black belt results.
Michael Bernard I said Bernhard last week because I'm an idiot.
Is that Bernard? That's not Bernhard?
I think it's Bernard.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'm not the name guy, man. You're the name guy for the show. So if you think it's Bernard or Bernhard, what'd you say?
I said Bernhard last week, but I think it's Bernard.
If you think it's Bernard, I'm going with Bernard. Bernard, my bad. Commentary called him Bernard.
There we go. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. Michael Bernard defeated Cody Miller via decision. David Garmo, not Gammo, Garmo.
I think we called him Garmo.
I called him Gammo last week. I was like David Gammo versus meh, and you were like, that's Garmo.
Okay.
He defeated John Stutzman via knee bar
This is a fun match.
in the sense that it was 1 minute and 3 seconds long.
It was a cool-ass knee bar. That's what I meant.
Yeah. What was great was they were like, we don't know much about Garmo. And I was like, yo, you didn't watch Quintet the other week.
Yeah.
That dude is beast mode.
Mm-hmm. He gets a knee bar from the bottom, rolls over.
He
pop,
immediately
pop.
pulled and just kept going and then twisted underneath and started fighting for it and got it really quick.
Yeah, beautiful transition, beautiful setup for it. Dude, guys that will posture up, like he got like high in the shoulders to get it to turn over, to get your hips above the hip line for the knee. Great technique, great match, super short. I love this technique. I wish we would see more guys shoot for this knee bar, especially like later in the match when guys are trying to stand up out of the guard. I think it's there more often than we see guys go for it. You're super risky to get your guard passed and get your back taken, but I think if guys get really good at like aggressively coming up on the shoulders to get it, it's there a lot more than we see it.
All right. Tom Feister defeats Jordan Sullivan via decision.
And this was fight of the night for the black belts.
BJ Nelson defeated Adam Hager via decision. Dante Leone defeats Joe Buys, not Bize, Buys, via rear naked choke.
It may be Bize, but the commentator, everyone called him Bize.
I'm going with Buys.
I'm going to go with Bize too.
Going with Buys. This was also an excellent match. Dante was all over him.
This is a really strategic match. You saw Leone come in repeatedly, and what's his name, Josh?
Buys.
Buys.
Call him Joe.
Pulled. Yeah, Joe pulled, and Dante would not, like, he'd get the passing position he wanted, or he'd back out completely and reset, and reset, and reset. And then you see him, like, once before the finishing sequence, he steps out round, gets the back, and and he's fighting for it. His hand position, you can see him winning the hand position fight, but he's just not quite in the right position with the hooks and everything he needs to get the choke. The same exact sequence happens later in the match. He steps over, he rolls, he's super aggressive with getting his bottom like hook underneath him to put him on top, and slams the hand across the face and gets a rear naked choke is what it's listed at, but it was
a face crank
over the face and the teeth. The commentator was like, yeah, it's like a teeth crank.
Yeah.
It was amazingly quick, and it was, for me at least, it was funny to see him get tapped by Wagner last week with this exact same not this exact
2
same
weeks
technique.
ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. And then you see Leone come in against another black belt and just show up, and the speed in which he punches that rear naked choke, the face crank over, Joe tapped super quick on it because it looked like he just got crushed immediately.
Yeah, it looked really uncomfortable.
Yep.
Chris Larkin defeats Dustin Ware via split decision, and our main event, Vitor Oliveira defeated Bill Cooper via guillotine.
And that was submission of the night for the black belts.
Let's talk about Bill Cooper's choice of handwear.
You and I both said independently, I thought he had a glove on.
I thought he had two gloves on, yeah.
Yeah, because his hands, it looked like...
they were wrapped up. It was kind of weird.
But they were like really wrapped up. And like he had big, like the entire back of the hand and up into the fingers. Like fingerless gloves is what I thought he had.
I think they are gloves, honestly. And I want to say it's safe to assume that he had some hand injuries, because after the end of the finishing sequence, his hand was like jammed in there, and Vitor got up and Bill shook out his hand.
He also yelled "fuck."
Yes,
I couldn't tell he was upset because his hand got hurt or because he lost.
No, he was shaking his hand and then he was holding it.
Because he's laying on, he leans back, lays on the mat, and yells "fuck," and then you see him like shake his hand out like aggressively, like his hand hurts. I was like, I can't tell if he's yelling at his hand or he's yelling because he got finished. With the Cooper, neither one surprised me, but dude's hands were taped up.
I don't know. Again, don't know if it's tape or some sort of glove.
It could be that compressive hand wrap you have, like those 2-finger hand wraps they have, and he fixed those with tape or something like that.
Yeah, possibly.
Something, but yeah, both of them were just like, he had a black gi on. This is a gi match. He had a black gi on, and the gi just kind of like, on the broadcast case, it kept going up, and you couldn't see a clear distinction between where the gi stopped and where his hand started because it was just black tape on black gi on black glove.
This was still an exciting match. They have not competed against each other as far as I'm aware of.
As far as the commentary was aware, either they hadn't competed against each other before.
And they were just going at it. Both of them switched positions, guard, being on top, trying to go for the back.
Cooper looked less aggressive in this one. Not less aggressive. He looked less he looked less able to get his game going than we've seen him in the past couple fight to wins.
Maybe. I don't know. I know Oliveira's he looked physically bigger. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He hit some pretty sweet takedowns. That inside trip was awesome. Bill was trying to go again near the end of the match. He was trying to go for the double under, and Oliveira readjusted and grabbed up his neck and jumped right onto a guillotine. And man, it was in there tight. And Bill, you could see he did the hover hand like he was debating it, and then he just tapped. Great finish by Vitor Oliveira. He's such a game competitor. Props to Bill. This dude is popping up all over the fucking country at like cards everywhere.
He's on Fight to Win. He's like every month or so.
At least once a month we see him pop up.
And he's in different places in the country, not just like near his region. He's flying out, or he's in those regions, going out, main eventing or co-main eventing, usually at the top of the card or
near
at
the
least
top
the
of it.
co-main. So
yeah. But that does it for Fight to Win Pro 79 in Columbus, Ohio.
It was a lot of fun. It was a good card. There's some really good matches to go back and watch. The videos are mostly up. A
couple of them aren't.
I went back and watched a bunch of these. You know, a lot of fun. Great commentary. Like,
indeed.
Even on the rewatch, listening to the commentary, it's smooth. They're professional. They're engaging. There's no point in the commentary where I went like, why the fuck did they say that? Or they pause weird. Like, it was beautiful commentary. I did not catch who the commentators were, and I'm kind of upset about that. I will go find out who they were, but it was, this is the kind of commentary I want to hear on jiu-jitsu. It was great. Anything else to add, Josh?
Not at all.
All right. How you doing? If you enjoy the show, please consider sharing the show on Facebook or another social media platform. That's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. Thank you. So on to our preview of Polaris 7 in London, England, in the God, I did it before we did the recording. In the Greenwich Peninsula.
Starting with the undercard, Tom Halpin versus Igor Taroka. You got to turn the screen a little bit, dude. Thank you. Igor Tereko. There we go. At a catch weight of 68 kilos. It's a no-gi match. Another no-gi match, Lloyd Cooper versus Kieran Davern. Catch weight of 80 kilos. Another catch weight match at 74 kilos in the gi, Oliver Lavelle, Chibis, versus Yosef Nabi. I am going to say the first name of this next match, and then I am going to make you pronounce the second name.
Got it.
This is catch weight, 80 kilograms, no gi. Sean McDonough versus
Edhin O'Flanagan. How'd you pronounce that, Josh? Egan? Egon? Egghin?
Owen.
Owen O'Flanagan.
I'm almost 100% sure that's Owen.
All right,
Like,
Owen.
what would be the equivalent to the American of Owen? Eoghan. We're dumb Americans, and this sounds like an Irish name. And
It's O'Flanagan. Yeah, I'd assume it's Irish.
but we're terrible at enunciation of names.
Oh, yeah.
Just like oh Christ, what is the name? Shiobaugh. How would you pronounce that?
Schaubehaugen.
A lot of people would pronounce it Shaban. It's Siobhan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Exactly.
On to the next match.
To be determined. versus Pedro Bessa in a catchweight 80 kilogram gi match. Miha Prehavik versus Jamie Scott in a catchweight 85 kilo no-gi match.
And that does it for the preliminary card for Polaris 7. They're always fun. Usually it's streamed on, is it Facebook?
YouTube.
I thought it was Facebook last time.
I'm almost 100% sure.
Okay, so usually the main event the leading up to Polaris is streamed on a different
platform
service.
that's free.
Yeah, than the main event. Where is the main event being streamed again? Fight Pass.
Like last time.
I got nervous. So on
Wait,
the main
go up.
card.
Did that say Access? Like,
Yep.
Okay. I thought that was like Access TV.
No.
Go on. Let's do it. Starting off the card, is this another tournament thing? Or is this the...
I do not know, Josh. I do not
Maybe this
remember.
is the championship thing. You remember last time that they had
Yeah,
the
the
under
four-person
55
they
kilo 4-woman division?
Yep.
Anyway, Samantha Cook versus Venla Lukonen in a plus 55 kilo no-gi match.
This will be fun. We see them both all the time on IBJJF
Frequently,
events.
everywhere.
Yep. Big competitors in the female black belt division. So excited for this match. Deserves to be on the main card.
Absolutely. In a featherweight 65.8 kilo no-gi match, we have Masakazu Imanari versus Ash Williams. Ash Williams. Is he the competitor from EBI? I think he is.
I think we saw him a couple EBIs ago on the bantamweight one or the featherweight one.
I think it might have been the featherweight one.
Okay, it was a little bit ago, but it's been a while.
Because I think his name is his name Ashley?
I think so. Yep, Ashley Williams.
I think that's who it is.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Dude, I will never miss Imanari competing.
Ashikan Judan?
Dude, I love watching Imanari. Love that shit.
It'll be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to a welterweight 77.1 kilo no-gi match. Ross Nichols versus Nathan Orchard. I'm not the biggest fan of Nathan Orchard, but
That being said,
he did tap out AJ Agazarm, so he carved out a little space in my heart.
and he's been looking good recently.
He's been looking good.
Honestly, aside from getting TKO by Wagner in Combat Jiu-Jitsu, by Slav's first TKO ever in Combat Jiu-Jitsu, he's looked really good. Like, he's been tapping some big names. And
You're such a dick.
what? I mean, he didn't look good in that match, but other than that match, he's looked really good. Like, he's definitely one of the top 10 Planet guys on the circuit right now, looking really good. So props to him. I'm excited to see if he continues, looking good versus Ross Nichols.
Yes. Moving on, another welterweight match. No-gi. Lachlan Giles versus Oliver Taza. There's going to be a lot of foot action going on, I have a feeling.
Oh, you think Giles is going to go for the feet, Josh?
I think Taza is definitely going to go for the feet.
Yeah.
Are you forgetting who Taza is?
Until you just gave me the squinty eye look, and I was like, oh, that Taza. Oh, no shit.
Oliver Taza, Henzo and TriStar, if I'm not mistaken.
That Oliver Taza.
Yes, that Oliver Taza. This is going to be an interesting match. The co-main event, as I'm assuming is what it is. It's a featherweight match. No-gi. Nicky Ryan versus Phil Harris. Somebody's going after the feet.
Dude, I'm excited for it. Nicky, Polaris put out a really cool promo with Nicky, and they subtitled it on Instagram. I love it when organizations do that, because if I have my volume off, I can read what he's saying, and I can just read through it. I don't have to unmute the video to hear someone speak. Props to you, Polaris, for doing your social media correct.
Have they released the lead-up video? You know how they always do the lead-up videos to Polaris?
I don't know. I think they've released some stuff, but I don't know if they've done.
It'll be interesting.
They've
We
done
will
that stuff
we
yet.
will look that up in just a second. Anyway, catchweight 85 kilo no-gi main event. Gregor Gracie versus Gilbert Dorino Burns.
Dude, I'm super surprised that they're going to have Dorino headline this card. He just got knocked out Friday.
Saturday.
No, on the Friday card. They had a card on Friday and on Saturday.
He was on the Saturday card.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad. Yep, he got knocked out by Dan Hooker on the Friday card.
See?
Yep.
UFC 226.
Yeah, I thought he was on the UFC 29 card. Not Jesus. He was on the other card. He was on
the Ultimate Fighter finale.
Yes, that card. So I'm super surprised he's headline because he got knocked. It wasn't like all the way down, but it was a TKO and it was a rough TKO in the first round.
So does the athletic commission have? I know, like they'll put them on suspensions. Will
No,
this,
pretty much. No, you're good.
Well, then there you go.
Okay, yeah. So yes, he fought in the United States. Technically, he's going to be barred from any contact. I think usually the standard is 60 days.
This is contact, then.
Right, but you're not in a sanctioned event. So you're in London, you're in a different country, in a different jurisdiction where your suspension has no weight and bearing.
But London's athletic commission functions off of the rest. They use the same rules, though, right?
They do, but jiu-jitsu has no athletic commission sanctioning. Honestly, the closest thing it has is certain states in the United States you'll get pro wrestling licenses to host professional BJJ events. There's only like 4 states that you actually need to do that for. Everything else, jiu-jitsu is a completely unregulated sport. And
It'll
I think
be interesting.
in London it's the same thing. So it's really interesting that he's headlining after taking a hard TKO like this. Literally, it'll be a week since then. So I hope he's good. I hope he's fine. Hope he shows up, performs great. I just think it's super, man, it's rough to have to be in another professional grappling event a week after taking a hard TKO.
Yeah. So that is the Polaris card. It is on Fight Pass. The undercard is on YouTube.
I think it's on Facebook, man. I'm just saying.
You'll be able to find it. It's free.
Yeah. Watch that shit.
Watch it.
It's fun. It's great. Production quality is amazing.
Always
Commentary
good.
is pretty good.
The only thing that I hope is they get rid of that back camera shot that shoots over the crowd.
Oh yeah, no, I need to see a crowd shot. It's jiu-jitsu.
I hate that.
I don't need to see a crowd shot.
And
well, they
can use the
overhead camera,
but not during submissions or like action. You hate
the overhead camera. Most people hate the overhead camera. I actually like the overhead camera sometimes.
Not when somebody's going for something and they're talking about it, but you can't see what they're doing because it's overhead.
I agree, but there's certain Metamoros used to use it okay, and Polaris has always used it, and they've used it really well in the past. But
they screwed up last time.
Last event it wasn't great, but I'm in the minority. Like most people I've talked to do not like the overhead camera. I do like the overhead camera, but that's just me. I'm weird like that. I hope that they stop cutting to the audience during the matches, because they did that a bunch of times during Polaris 6, and it was annoying. Again, it was great. Super happy for the event. Watch it. So on to our preview of Fight to Win Pro 80 in Boston, Massachusetts. This event is headlined by a Masters Black Belt Super Heavyweight title match between Gabriel Gonzaga and Alex Huddleston. We haven't seen Gonzaga in a little bit on Fight to Win, but when we do see him on Fight to Win, he fucking trucks it. So I'm excited to see him.
He's a big guy.
He's a large number. I think the last time we saw him against Sean Durfee, which is who's a black belt under J-Jack, who's actually on this card. Amanda Buckner's on this card, J-Jack's wife, both black belts. They have another black belt on this card, so the Academy's showing up for this particular event. But I think that's the last time I saw Gonzaga on Fight to Win was that match. I think he's competed against Durfee at least twice. I know once in Fight to Win.
Co-main event, 195-pound black belt gi match. Rick Hahn, yes, that Rick Hahn, versus Joe Apadisano. I was saying it beforehand, and we got off track, and Apadisano.
I think that's pretty close.
Close
honestly.
enough.
Next match is a super heavyweight black belt gi match.
Michael Zenga versus Christian Augusto. 210-pound black belt no gi match. J-Jack versus Michael Alexander. Maine.
Dude, J-Jack is coming out of retirement. So I spent about 20 years in Maine. I started BJJ in Maine. I've trained with J-Jack before. He has an academy in Maine. He's not who I train under, but I trained with him when I was in Maine before. Dude is a black belt in low percentage bullshit. Great instructor. One of the first black belts in Maine. He's actually Amal Easton's first black belt. So he's OG back in the day, been a black belt a long time, pro fighter. You know, he has a podcast too, and that's why I don't know a ton about him, because he has a podcast that I've listened to for literally since I started BJJ called J-Jack Uncensored. Hilarious, tells old school like MMA fighter stories about like going over to Russia and Bodog fights and shark fights and all that stuff. His wife later in this card also talks about like meeting Fedor and meeting Putin and stuff. Great podcast, great orator, crazy guy. Super excited to see him come out of retirement and compete on this one, because he has not competed in jiu-jitsu in probably 6 or 8 years at least. You can find results for J-Jack on like old school Naga super fights in like the early 2000s, where he's on like those super fights back then. So I'm super excited to see J-Jack come back and just, see what he's got.
Cool. 190-pound black belt gi match. Jared Lawton versus Richard Boucher.
No Jared Lawton too. He's a pro fighter out of Maine. Legit black belt. I saw him again. I've seen him compete before on like local tournaments. He would just show up being like, he like merged with brown belt divisions and just go in those because there was so few black belts in Maine back when he was a black belt in Maine competing. So super excited to see him. Dope competitor.
185-pound black belt gi match. Rafael Carnero versus Lucas Valle. Or Vale? I'm going to go with Valle. That sounds cooler.
I think it's Vale. I don't know why.
Okay.
I think it's Vale.
180-pound black belt gi match. Vin Canabaro versus Henan Borges. 170-pound black belt gi match. I'm sorry in advance. Anis El Hajj.
There are 3 J's in that last name. Hajjajay.
Hajaji?
That sounds closer, but I can't even get close, man.
I'm going to wait for them to announce this and...
oh, that's a male name. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know Anis is a male name. I didn't know that.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, versus Eduardo Nascimento. 160-pound black belt no-gi match. Chris Coogan versus Pete Jeffries. Another 160-pound black belt gi match. Thiago Alves, not that Thiago Alves.
A different Thiago Alves.
Versus Mateus Gonzaga. Different Gonzaga, too.
Not related.
145-pound black belt gi match. Bruno Braz versus... I'm assuming that is misspelled Paul.
It is misspelled. It's Paul Gorman is the guy's
Paul
name.
Gorman.
Yep. He is J-Jack's first black belt.
Oh, okay.
And legit pro fighter at like I think it's funny he's at 45 because usually he fights at 35 or 25. Usually 35. So he's probably not cutting weight for this one.
Alrighty. 145-pound black belt gi match. Bruno Diaz versus Ryan Clay. There is no weight listed for this match, but it is a female black belt no-gi match. Amanda Buckner versus Gabby Romero.
Again, Amanda Buckner is J-Jack's wife and legit old school fighter. Used to be ranked in the top, I think, 10 in the world at 135 way back in the day in the mid-2000s. Legit. Again, she's also coming out of retirement for this, so it's exciting.
Is J-Jack his actual name?
His name is J-Jack. It's
just asking. That's all.
So actually, technically, his name is Charles Donovan J-Jack. I really like their show. I've listened to every single episode. But he goes as J-Jack. His driver's license is listed as J-Jack. Like, J-Jack is his name.
Just asking, since you know this person. So I was just like...
I wouldn't say I know him. I've listened to like...
You know of him.
Multiple hundreds of episodes of his show.
Your instructor in Maine trained with him.
No.
Oh, he did not?
No, they didn't train together.
Oh, okay.
No. He was just an affiliate. He was not affiliate. He was just a gym. He runs Academy BJJ in Maine. The Academy of Mixed Martial Arts in Maine down in Portland. I used to train up in Bangor, Maine. It's about a 2.5-hour drive. So when I was seeing my family lower in Maine, from where I went to college, I would sometimes pop into that gym and train there because it was like 40 minutes from my house, as opposed to the other gym that I primarily trained at was at that point probably an hour and a half plus from my house. So I popped in there occasionally when visiting family.
So if you know of him, but you've seen this man's license.
Because they talk about it on the show. They do a weekly show for the past 5 years. It's an hour-long show where they talk about the gym and his life and promotions and how they run jiu-jitsu and the history. They talk a lot. It's just him and Bo that run this show.
And this podcast is called?
J-Jack Uncensored. So
check out J-Jack Uncensored. It's pretty sure you can find it wherever you download your podcast.
Yeah, I have a T-shirt for their podcast and shit. It's a funny fucking podcast. This T-shirt is "Make Jiu-Jitsu Violent Again." No, sorry. The one I have is actually the "No, you won't. No, you didn't. No, you can't. it's like 4 no you won'ts basically. It's like what would you say to people at a bar that are like gonna start shit?
You won't do that shit.
No, you won't. No, you didn't. No, you can't. It's like, I'll fuck you up. No, you can't. I have this many fights. No, you didn't. That's the shirt. It's great.
Okay. So that's all the black belts. There are a bunch of brown belts and purple belts on this card as well. Are there any kiddos on this one? Go down. Go down. No?
Maybe one kiddo match at 125. There's a 125-pound nogi match.
Go up a little bit. Sometimes they intersperse it in there. Nope. Maybe there are 0 kids.
I recognize, it's funny, I recognize so many gym names. I don't recognize a whole lot of names lower on the card. I recognize some names, but I recognize a lot of gym names that I haven't seen in a couple years. I'm like, oh shit, that gym. Oh, this gym. Oh, that gym. Oh, that gym changed names. That's that gym name now. It's cool.
So that is Fight to Win Pro 80 in Boston. That is this coming week. We will be watching. It is getting closer to Philly and then to Baltimore, which I will be on. We will be covering my match.
Yeah.
At length. Not really.
You better fucking win this time. I'm just saying. If I got to cover you for a third time, and you
we didn't cover me the first time.
No, you weren't on the second Baltimore card, were you? No,
I was on. No.
We didn't cover the Jersey card because we weren't doing the show then.
Right.
We covered you on the first Frederick, Maryland card.
Even though it was listed as Baltimore.
Yep. You fought Del Bruges. You
No.
weren't on the last one.
Yes. Where I went against Del Bruges, and then the one that was at UMBC, and then this one again is at UMBC.
Great venue.
Yeah. They have wrestling there sometimes, too.
All right.
ROH was there just the other week.
What is that?
Ring of Honor?
What is
wrestling? Professional
that?
wrestling?
That fake shit?
Cole Cabana?
All right, cool.
Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, things like that.
All right, whatever that is. You're just saying names, man. You're just like making up names for me.
Alrighty. So, yeah. We're getting that. We'll be into covering it. I'm going to make a fool of myself when coming of the preview of the card. The picture that I sent to Seth is ridiculous. The idea that I have for a walkout, which was discussed maybe 15 minutes ago, is ridiculous. It's going to be good.
Okay, so before you make anything else, you better make weight this time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Making sure.
Even if I have to, lop off a few toes.
Yo, I'll take blood from you.
That's not going to take that much away from me.
You better make weight then.
A pint is only like 16 ounces. I don't know how heavy blood is.
It's heavier than water. I did the math on it a while back for reasons, Josh.
Because you did AIDS research back in the day?
I did do that.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Whatever. No, I'll be fine. I am 5 pounds off right now. I can take a hefty dump and make that weight. Anyway, that's Fight to Win Pro 80 in Boston, Massachusetts.
And that's our show. The show. That's our show. Pretty much this next week.
Last weekend and this weekend were 4th of July weekend. If you think about it.
Oh, yeah, 4th of July was on Wednesday this year. That was a weird day.
Yeah.
Dude, I had off Wednesday. The entire day, I was convinced it was Saturday. It was the weirdest shit ever. And I woke up on Thursday. I was like, oh, I got to do... Or I'm not going to the office. I'm going to the field. Oh, this is weird. It was weird as shit. It threw me off until, literally this Saturday. I was like, okay, I'm back to normal again.
Do you know when my regular day off is?
Wednesday.
Yes.
That sucks.
Yep.
So you got off the day you get off regularly.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
As opposed to my coworker who normally has off Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So he had off
Wednesday,
Thursday, Friday. And as he was leaving Tuesday, he was like, all right, I'm going to the beach. I was like, I hope you die.
Yeah, you got the shortest end of that shit stick.
He came in a little bit before me. So,
all right.
And we worked around. We had a different schedule beforehand, but it was not working out for one person. So we changed it because I'm a nice guy like that. And I enjoy having a weekend day off. So Sunday's a good day to have a day off. Lots of open mats and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is tons. It's in the Baltimore area. It's great. So that does it for this week's show. Tune into Polaris Pro 7. It's going to be exciting. Tune into Fight to Win Pro 80. I'm super excited about this card for so many reasons, Josh. I love seeing people that I know on these events. It's awesome.
Maine has his computer hooked up to his television now. He sent a picture to me on Friday. Check this shit out. It's on the big screen. Wait. Do you have a thing that could... Oh, do you have a projector?
No, I have a projector screen. I don't have a projector.
You need a projector.
Long story. Buy me one, Josh. I'll put it in my house.
I am not buying shit. Borrow one from Rob.
Dude, I bought not lawn furniture. I bought deck furniture this week. that shit's fucking expensive. We bought it used on Facebook, and it was still like expensive as shit.
Your deck isn't that big. Why do you need furniture for it? Just
Rachel
get some
wants
plastic
furniture.
chairs.
Rachel wants furniture.
Some plastic chairs.
We do have
from
plastic
Walmart.
chairs.
It's like $15.
Yeah, we got like a love seat in. It's awesome.
Love seat. Is it wicker?
No. Are you fucking stupid?
No.
Why would you get wicker outside furniture? That shit's
Because
metal,
it's
dog.
wicker.
That shit's metal.
Wicker is not metal.
Wicker also breaks and splinters and like I don't want to set a bunch of
You
sticks,
just said
Josh.
it was metal.
Yeah, metal doesn't break and splinter. It's made of metal.
Who wants rusty ass fucking deck?
It's got couch cushions and shit on it. It's great.
Yeah, it's gonna get rusty and you're gonna have soggy ass couch cushions.
It's hot in Maryland. It'll dry out. So that does it for this week's show. I've been Maine.
I'm always Josh.
And we're the Grappling Rewind Podcast.
See you on the mats. As always, you can email us at thegrapplingrewind@gmail.com. You can check us out on Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and pretty much anywhere you can find
Facebook.
podcasts. We're on Facebook, Grappling Rewind,
Instagram.
Grappling Rewind,
Twitter.
Grappling Rewind.
Reach out to us on social media. If you got something you want us to cover, you want to clarify, we are here.
You want to tell us we're idiots? Hey, let us know.
You want us to pronounce your name correctly?
Let us know. Subscribe on the YouTube page. Leave us a review.
Helps us out a lot.
It helps us out, and it eventually will help you out. We like to give back. We're doing this as something that isn't done, so help us help you. Again, as always, I'm Josh.
I'm Maine.
And this is the Grappling Rewind Podcast.
We'll see you on the mats.